Okay. Yes, Vaidehi, we can start.
Okay, sir. Welcome everyone. Namaste and good evening. I am Vaidehi Balke and I'm going to be your anchor for today and tomorrow. I am a physiotherapist by profession. I've just graduated this year and I have been with Swasti for 3 months, and actually it seems over more than that. And I am here doing level 1 course. So let me talk briefly about what Swasti Yoga Center is and what Global Yoga Festival is. So Swasti as a certified yoga center provides education, training, therapy and research in yoga and is an associate center of India Yoga Association. And Global Yoga Festival is a year-long festival started in August 2021 to commemorate 75 years of our independence with various yoga and cultural activities. So many topics will be covered in this Global Yoga Festival, and everyone here will get to learn about the ancient art of yoga. So there would be around 2,000 speakers from over 35 countries, and will be held this Global Yoga Festival will be held every Saturday and Sunday from 6 to 6:40. So let us start with today's session. And today's topic is improving kids' immunity in COVID times. And the presenter will be Anupama Khandelwal ma'am. She has been practicing yoga over 5 years, and she has a little background in IT profession for over 16 years. She is a certified yoga instructor from Ayush Ministry, and she likes to add fun to yoga classes sessions she conducts by combining creative sequences and a little playfulness. She has completed kids yoga teacher training from Swasti Yoga Center. With this, I would like to ask Anupama ma'am to start the presentation with Omkar Mantra and Prasanjali prayer. Ma'am, please unmute and start.
Sure. Thank you, Vaidehi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Vikas sir. Good evening, Shweta ma'am. And hello to all my fellow participants. So my name is Anupama. I will be talking about improving kids' immunity in COVID times. Before we start, we'll chant Omkar Mantra 3 times, followed by Patanjali prayer. So I request all of you to join your hands, close your eyes. Try to make your neck and back straight. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनिना पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरार्णितोऽस्मिन्. Rub your hands, everyone. Your palms together. Keep your warm palms on your closed eyes. Slowly and gradually open your eyes. Feel the warmth. Welcome to today's session. I hope I am audible. Vaidehi, can you please confirm?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. So please help me to do the slideshow. Yeah. Okay. So before we start, I'm gonna talk about immunity and improving immunity for our children, okay, for all the kids around. So before we move into the improvement steps, I would like to explain a little bit about immunity. So all of us, we know immunity is what? It is the ability of a living being to resist a particular infection or toxin or any disease by the action of specific antibodies, or you can also call them sensitized white blood cells. Now, immunity is something which is actually a part of our defense system, which is a part of our body. So our body is really capable of healing itself. The God has given us the defense system along with all other systems that we read. So all the children around, all the parents, they might already be teaching different systems to their children: digestive system, respiratory system, all the entire anatomy of the human body. Similarly, a defensive system, immunity, is also a part of our body, and we are responsible ourselves to keep that strong and enough active and mobilized so that healthy cells, they remain and they grow, and all the toxins and the infectious cells are able to be flushed out or killed by the help of our immune system. So next slide. So what does to be immune we mean? So everywhere, especially in last couple of years, where we have seen the outrage of COVID-19, everywhere, everyone is talking, everywhere we see discussions going on about strengthening your immunity. So everyone wants to be super immune these days. So it is there from the beginning. Since we were born, we have this immune system. Since we were born, we were and we are responsible to keep our immune system healthy. But in last 2 years, due to the awareness about the infections, about the viruses, and about the different diseases and the impact of those diseases that can be caused to adults as well as to the kids, everybody is now more conscious about keeping their immune system really healthy. So what does it mean to be immune? It really means to be protected. The body system that helps fight off sickness, any kind of sickness, is called the immune system. And in the layman language, we can always call it as a defense system. The immune system is made up of a network of cells. Now these cells, some of these cells are also known as T cells. We might have come across a lot of news in the newspaper and the awareness articles, the posters around about T cells and strengthening our T cells inside. So T cells are a part of the immune system. So it is made up of not only cells, tissues, and also organs that work together to protect the body. It's just like the defense system of a country works. We have Navy, we have Air Force, we have Army working together, and they provide the complete ecosystem of the defense to protect our country from invaders. Similarly, these diseases, these viruses, and these bacteria are nothing but these are invaders for our body. These are some external infections for our body. And whosoever has the strongest ecosystem of all these things included, your cells, your tissues, your organs, they are not only healthy, they are not only efficient in killing the pathogens, the diseases, the infectious viruses, but also they are equally calm and active. So I will take you through the different steps of keeping our immune system healthy and what are the steps that we can take for our children as well, so that the defense system, it is like always up to the mark and it is ready for fight or flight response, that we also look into the stress dealing mechanism. So now we see white blood cells. They are also known as leukocytes. So before we move into improvement, I'm kind of taking you through the contents of immune system and also a very basic understanding of how it works. So we have white blood cells. They are called leukocytes, and they are a part of this system, immune system, the fighting system. So now there are two types of these germ fighting cells. One is phagocytes, which chew up all the invading germs. All the invaders, they are killed. Second type is lymphocytes. Now lymphocytes, they allow the body to remember and recognize previous invaders. Okay, so if we have got the infection before, if we get it again, our body develops the immunity against that little easily because it has that memory. So memory cells, it helps to remember, okay, we got this before, now we know how to handle this same invader again. So we know the trick. So that is what lymphocytes, they do. Next, please. Okay, now we'll go through the basics of maintaining the immune system. So how can kids, how can our little ones, our children at our homes, in schools, in our society, how can they help maintaining the immune system? Those children, especially the younger ones, they do not know much about white blood cells, lymphocytes, pathogens, antibodies. How does all this defense system it works? So how can we simply explain them, and how can we help them to maintain the immunity system? So make sure, please note, we have to maintain. We are not supposed to create. It is already there in the body. And now, as a responsible human being, as a responsible individual, we are just supposed to maintain our systems in that healthy state. So we have already got all these systems in a full flourished, prosperous body, and it is now up to us how to maintain. So very basic steps. One, children should be aware of that they are supposed to wash their hands regularly to prevent infections. Why and how, I'll be going through this in little more detail in the next slide. Second, very important, eating nutritious foods. Third, plenty of exercise. And fourth and the last is enough sleep. So we'll go through first the food part of it, the eat well part of it, and I will try to explain how eating well helps in building the immunity and in maintaining the immunity. So when we say eat well, what does it really mean? Does it really mean eating tasty foods? Does it really mean eating healthy foods? Does it really mean eating at the right time? No. So eat well is the combination of all this. It is a combination of all this. So you have to have your regularity, a very fixed time of having meals, and a good variety of foods. So when we so there's a common misconception in the society. When we say healthy food, people believe that by healthy, it is not supposed to be very tasty, it is not supposed to be very interesting, it is not supposed to have a lot of variety. So it is not only dal and khichdi, which is considered to be as a eat well category of the food, or the nutritious category of the food, but a whole lot of variety has to be included for the children. And especially for the children, you can include so many colors in your food, a lot of red, yellow, greens in salads, in vegetables, to make it look little interesting and have a very nice variety in their plates when they are on their dining tables to eat. So, and regular. Why we have to be regular? Because our body, we are not supposed to give any surprises to our body. So many surprises also disturb the entire health and the calm of the body, right? So our body knows that daily it gets something at 1 p.m., for example, something at 6 p.m., for example, and we should be able to maintain that. Right, so having regular meals with a variety of food for children is meant to be really colorful. All like I just explained, the greens, the leafy vegetables, the reds, the yellows, so that little ones, especially the little ones, they are very fond of colors. So coloring is one basic game that all of us buy for our children when they are younger, even 2 years, 3 years, right? So we know that they have a little attraction towards the colors. So why not have this in their plate and help them to build their immunity? So this is one. Second is eating lots of fruits and vegetables. Now why do we really need to have nutritious food, and why not only junk food can help us to build our immunity? Now what happens, as I just spoke before about the T cells. So T cells, they're a part of immune system, and they develop from the stem cells in a bone marrow. Okay, so they help the body to protect, and also they might be even playing a very amazing role in fighting the cancerous cells. Okay, so the nutrients which we get in a lot of vegetables and fruits, they actually work as an antioxidant to protect these healthy cells. We really do not want to kill our healthy cells and let our unhealthy ones, the viruses and the infectious cells, to grow, right? So these all fruits, vegetables, they help and support. They give a support to the growth and activity of all these immune cells. And also they help in the production of antibodies. So antibodies is one which actually help you to kill and to fight your infection. Okay, that infectious cell is actually pathogen, and so to have those healthy cells up and running always, you really do not know when you are hitting the virus, when you are hitting the bacteria from your environment, from the food that you are eating, from your dirty hands. So there are so many open areas from where you can catch all these bacteria and viruses. So your body has to be always alert, up and running with these healthy cells produced, and a lot of support they need for the growth. So something has already been given to us. Our job is just to maintain and support that. And what helps? It's a lot of fruits, vegetables, and plenty of water. So third, which is plenty of water. How does it help? So everyone here, we know that the drinking water or intake of fluids, actually it helps you to flush out the toxins, right? So this is one part, one way of getting rid of your unhealthiness or your toxins from your body. So we really have to make sure that we need to have a lot of water. So whenever we get ill, fever, cold, cough, any kind of sickness, minor sickness, we always see that doctors, they prescribe us have a lot of fluids. So why? This is one of the reasons. So I'm trying to explain the reasons behind it so that we can take this to our children in a similar way. So children of these days are like, they are really, really smart. Once they are 6-7 years old, and I might be incorrect, even younger ones, they ask you a lot of questions. They really need to know why and how. So when you tell them why, it really helps them to take a decision at their own level. Right, so every time we are not really gonna be with them to help them choose the diet choice, to help them choose. Whenever they open the refrigerator, they might see a piece of chocolate and a bowl of salad. So if we explain them with all these reasons and all these logics behind in a very simpler way, this all and make them understand, it will help them to make the correct choices, not only in food but in all other phases of life, right? We really have to be very sure that when we talk about improving anything for our kids, we really have to put our thinking hats and put our logical hats on, because children of these days are really, really logical. They really need to know whys of everything, and then we just leave up to them to follow. And then the fourth point is like limit unhealthy foods. So it is all over connected, well connected. Eating healthy, limit unhealthy, lots of vegetables, fruits, and drink lots of water. Okay, so this was about the eat well part of the support that our immune system needs. Now we move to something called behavioral tips. That can be social behavior, that can be the way kids are behaving inside the houses, kids are behaving while eating, how they are showing they're well mannered while in terms of washing their hands before and after their meals. So we just don't tell them that wash your hands before the meal. We just don't tell them wash your hands when you come back home. We tell them why and how. So I'll go through that in this slide, the last point. Before that, we'll quickly go through the simple tips especially for the COVID-19 scenario that we are all into right now. So always maintain a physical distance and stay home as much as possible unless going for medical treatment or urgent supplies. This is very much clear because it's all over the news, all over the newspapers, all over us now. So we all know that we really have to step out only if it is really, really urgent and necessary. No accessory stepping out. No stepping out for your accessories. Only your necessity has to be taken care of when this, at least in the time of the pandemic. Second is wearing mask when you are outside and making sure that face mask is covering your nose. So children above 2 years can wear a mask, and they really get very beautiful and very attractive masks made of even cartoons, which can actually reinforce the kid. You can buy their matching mask, their cartoon mask, so that they do not run away from wearing the mask, because most of the children, they have this excuse that, oh, I feel suffocated, I'm not feeling comfortable. So by doing little steps, 1-2 steps, by buying them really colorful ones or whatever they need, we can just help them. So this is one for the really little ones. For the elder ones, 7 years and above, you really have to make them understand the importance of wearing the mask and the impact of not wearing a mask. So how you are protecting yourself and how you are protecting your society by just wearing that little mask on, by keeping that on your mouths and nose. Right. So for children, I think above 7, 8, we can also make them understand not only the social responsibility areas, but also their individual responsibility areas by just talking to them. It is so simple. You just have to do some research, do some preparation at the back end. You know what kind of questions your child is going to ask. Do some prep work and be ready. And by just talking to them, you can really enforce your child to be very well disciplined in following all the do's and don'ts of COVID-19 and of strengthening your immune system. Then the third point says continually wash hands with soap or use a 70% sanitizer, making sure the whole surface of the hands is covered. So last year itself, there was one very nice experiment floating all over the place. I hope all of us have gone through that video where it was putting some black pepper in the water and then a soap solution. And as soon as you put the soap solution, the pepper, comes on the sides and the water becomes clear. So this is how you can actually reinforce and you can make the children understand that it's really not only going and just washing the hands with the water and rushing back to their play or their work, but it's actually about using the soap for 20 seconds. And this is what it happens. So show them these kind of experiments, make them read some good articles if they are big enough. If not, you can really show you can tell them the importance while by telling some stories. So this is how you are actually reinforcing a very well mannered attitude in the kid, not only for COVID, but also during their future, because this is something we need every time. Immune system being strong is really needed always. Then fourth is getting vaccinated. So everyone above 18 years of age is now eligible, and we should be making sure that we all are vaccinated at homes. How does that help improving the immunity in kids? When I get vaccinated, my children look at me, and they look at me, they feel that, okay, I'm able to take care of my social responsibility, my individual responsibility, and that's how it creates an impression. It motivates them to learn few other things of how they can do at their end. So getting vaccinated for all the adults is really important, not only for themselves, not only just to prevent themselves of COVID, but also to set up a right example for their children. Then it is avoid attending public functions, avoid social gatherings, avoid group play. So this is a very new norm that we really need not to be in a very huge crowded place, and we really need to be away. Only if necessary, please join all these gatherings and functions around. Then the last one, but very important, like I already mentioned in all the points, that we really need to discuss, demonstrate, and reiterate the importance of COVID-19 appropriate behavior with your children. So just telling them something, just showing them, just making them read in the newspaper, or just showing them in the news, or giving them some books to read, will not have 100% impact. But if you discuss with them the advantages of doing it, discuss with them the disadvantages and the impacts of not doing it. So what is appropriate and what is not appropriate at this time, children should be well aware of, right? Next. Okay, now we move to what else? So we covered eat well part. We now we are gonna see what really means by exercising. So in the previous slides, we saw that there are 4 things that really we need to take care of for improving our immunity system. So eat well, everybody knows. Social behavior we have just covered. Now it comes to the exercise part. So what all yoga poses your kids can really do to improve the immunity? And again and again, we really do not have to tell them, please go do dhanurasan, do bow pose for 5 minutes a day, so this is all for adults. You can give these kind of instructions for adults 18 plus. Okay, you tell them, they will do it because they already have some background in their mind. They really are keen to understand, and they already know some basics. But for the kids, I actually purposefully included that the how part. How does dhanurasan? So I've been taking classes for different kids at my end, and I usually get these answers. So they actually ask, so we are just turning our body here, there, this and that, up and down, forward bend, backward bends. How is it helping to grow the healthy cells? How is it really helping to support the immune system? So here comes your prep work. Here comes your homework that you have to do before giving the instructions or making some suggestions to the kid. So we'll see Dhanurasan. We all know that Dhanurasan is really good in building and improving the immunity. But how does it do that? It improves the flow of white blood cells, WBCs, by putting pressure on your digestive system. These white blood cells strengthen the immune system. This is done. Once you tell them, it gets settles down in their mind, and then they will actually try to do that really regularly, and it will have more impact than just telling them to do certain poses. We'll see a couple more poses next. How do they help? So this is another asana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. How does this help? This inverted pose helps to circulate blood all over the body, moving the white blood cells. So white blood cells, we already know. What are those? Those are body's weapons against infection to all the parts. It also helps clear congestion in your sinus, and this facilitates easier and more relaxed breathing. So the more blockages in your body, the more weakened your immune system is. So you really have to work on removing those blockages, removing the congestions, removing the toxins. So removing all bad things and getting all good things in is the key to improve the immune system. Next, please. Gomukhasana. So this pose helps you straighten the spine and makes you stretch your shoulder and thighs in a twist that activates the flow of blood to the farthest tip of your fingers and toes. This re-energizes you and makes your body feel active and able to defend itself from illness. So when you have to fight, when you really have to do something really hard, put some efforts, the one thing which you need is you really need to be energized. You really need to be active. That's what this asana, it helps us to do. So there are a lot more asanas, there are a lot more breathing exercises in our yogic science, which helps, and we have all these scientific researches proven to, which has helped us to improve the immune system. We'll not go through all of them. Before we move ahead, I would also like to explain you the importance of sleep in strengthening the immune system. So we saw healthy food, we saw exercise, we saw water, and now the fourth thing, we will see how does the sleep. So sleep is any other important part of your body. So it is really not to be ignored. And all the adults who really suffer from the problems of insomnia, There are so many sleep disorders. So nowadays there are so many diseases only related to sleep. Somebody is like feeling sleepy all the day long. Somebody is not even able to sleep even during the night. So adults, they know the importance of sleep. But for children, for our little ones, they are really innocent and they might tend to ignore this importance in their life. They might want to play more. They might want to be with their friends. And all the children are really, really active. So to help them and to make them understand the importance of sleep, you actually have to tell them again. You have to go back to the T cells, the basics of immune system. So what does good sleep does? So I was going through a recent study where scientists, they actually discovered that quality sleep can really support the T cells in your body to fight off infection. So quality sleep is actually re-energizing you. It's actually calming you down. It is actually giving you that strength to fight. But to make these little ones understand, you have to be little logical and little scientific. So we really need not to be doctors, all of us, to talk to our kids who are explaining all these importance and impact. But we really need to be little logical and creative so that kids, they feel interested to listen first and then to implement. So good sleep is really, really helpful in enhancing the ability of your T cells to adhere to and to destroy the cells infected by virus and other pathogens. So again, just one logic: healthy in, unhealthy out. So viruses, infected cells out, destroyed, and your healthy cells are supposed to be grow. So sleep plays an important role in our immune system as well. So this is another important topic. And before we end, I would just like to thank, and I hope I was clear and I really made my points of how to explain this to the children. So it is not only the job of parents of just continuously feeding them or giving them instructions, but give them some science behind it, give them some logic behind it. We all know how to improve, but explain them as well. Sit with them, talk with them, discuss, and all of us will be good. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all my colleagues. Thank you, Shweta ma'am, for giving me a chance of really bringing out my opinion on the immunity and the little ones.
Thank you, ma'am. Today's topic, it was very important since many parents are worried sick about their little kids, like not sending them outside at all. Since I have my little brother and sisters, they have been at home. They are tired of sitting at home. They'll always have they'll do natak about eating every time that I want something new, I want something delicious. I don't want to eat this. So I have one question. So can you tell me what should actually be included while eating? Like it should be a balanced diet, but what should not be missed or anything?
As I already mentioned, lots of fruits and vegetables. The vitamins really help you to build on the immune system. And how do you make your children eat or your cousins eat? All this is really to make it little creative. For example, it is really need not to be a very boring vegetable. Always you can make a colorful salad out of it. You can get them fruits whichever they like. You can, yeah, and by yoga you can actually tell them, like an elephant eats bananas, it is so strong. Yeah, help them do the elephant pose and also feed them bananas. So you really have to be creative and see what your kids are really liking, and then you have to make all your recipes according to them. So healthy recipes are never bland. They are never supposed to be always bland. It is not supposed to be very spicy, but you can add that little tinge of taste and the flavor that your kids enjoy.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. And does anyone else have any questions with the topics that ma'am included? Any queries are welcomed. Okay, since no one has any questions, I'll ask Dr. Vikas sir to felicitate Anupama ma'am.
Absolutely. So I would request everyone to give a big round of applause.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Anupama ji, for your time, your contribution, and participation in the Global Yoga Festival. Definitely in the times of this global pandemic, when everyone, as Vaidehi was saying, that kids are actually the ones who have suffered a lot. As adults also, we feel it's so difficult to have work from home and all this kind of environment. For kids, they have suffered at the level of the emotions, mentally, their mental health is really at stake. And your tips that you have given really would be helpful for the parents so that they can introduce these aspects. And this kind of clutter, with the kind of turbulence which is created due to this situation, and the future challenges which are going to come, I think through these yoga practices, the kids will learn how to be balanced even in the tough times, because the tough times do go. We always are being talked about. There is always a room for there is always a silver lining for every dark cloud. So with this, we will end today's session. Hearty congratulations once again, Anupama ji, and we hope to have you again and again for your inputs in the Global Yoga Festival. Thank you, and round of applause.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for attending the session. We'll now end the session. I invite Bankim ji, sir, to recite Pasaidan for the ending prayer. So, Bankim ji, please take over.
Vaidehi ji, before that, you can also introduce about the tomorrow's topic, so that everybody is familiar.
Yes, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow, Uday Pensis sir will be applying Yoga Sutras of Patanjali and establishing oneself in an asana. He'll be explaining about sutras in details and how to include them in the asana. So tomorrow will be an interesting session. So I hope everyone joins in again. And thank you so much. And Bankim ji, please take over.
सर्वप्रथम उपस्थित सर्व को इंटरनेशनल योगा फेस्टिवल की ढेर सारी बधाई, और सर्व में विराजमान परमात्मा स्वरूप आत्मा को मेरा नमस्कार। पाता विश्वात्मके देवे येणे वाग्यग्नि तोषावे तोषोनी मज ध्यावे पसायदान हे जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूतां परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जाहो विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहो जो जे वांछील तो ते लाहो प्राणी जात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषांचे चंद्र में जे अलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे होतु किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण होऊनी तिन्ही लोकी भजी जो आदि पुरुखी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकीये दृष्टान दृष्ट विजय होवावे येथ मणे श्री विश्वेश्वरा होईल दान पसाओ येणे बरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया झाला ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहे तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहे ओम शांति शांति शांति
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Bankim ji. With this, we end the session. Namaste. See you tomorrow.